Hello everyone, my name is Adrian Lim Yi-Lun. I'm the team leader of Team 5 and my teammate is Loh Zhi Kei. We are from DFT2 Group 14 and today we are going to present our assignment report, Fundamental of Computer Networks, course code AACS2034. The content about this presentation will include network design, addressing design, calculation growth rate, subnetting table, addressing table, configuration of router and switch, and lastly, pin connectivity. So this is our network design. On the left is location A and on the right is location B. The end devices that we have used are PC, printer, laptop, smartphone, tablet, and server. The router that we chose to use is the router PTMT. For switch PTMT 3560 multi-layer switch. And for the connection, we use copper straight through and copper crossover. The distance between location A and B is 100 meters. Next, I will be talking about the addressing design for each department and faculty. So this is the Chancellery Department, which is located at location A on the third floor. The host required for the Chancellery Department is 500 hosts. We divided the department into 3 divisions, which is Academic Affairs Division, Student Affairs Division, and Research and Innovation Division. And for the other department is quite similar, just that the host is different. All of the divisions have their own multi-layer switches. So here is how we calculate the number of hosts required after the growth rate of 57%. As you can see here, we just have to multiply 157% to get the answer. So as you can see here, the before growth rate for Chancellery Department is 500 hosts. And for after growth rate, we just use 500 and times by 157% and you'll get 785. Next, we have subnetting table. This part will cover how to calculate the subnet mask, maximum host, network address, CIDR or prefix, first usable address, last usable address, and broadcast address. First, we have to find the maximum host. We chose 2 power of 9 because the number of hosts required is 500. And 2 power of 9 is equal to 512. 512 is greater than 500. For network address, we take 10.0.0.0, which is given at the assignment materials, and plus with the maximum host, which is 512. For the CIDR, we will take /32 minus the maximum host power of number, which is 9. So we just take /32 minus /9, and it will be equal to /23. For the first usable address, we just take the network address, which is 10.0.0.0 and plus 1. Broadcast address is take the last usable address and plus 1. For the last usable address, we just take the broadcast address and minus by 1. Lastly, for the subnet mask, we take the CIDR, also known as prefix, which is /23, write 23 once, and change it into decimal form. So this is the after growth rate, which I mentioned just now. Just use the number of hosts required at the before growth rate and times with 157%, and you will get the answer.
Okay, thank you, Adrian Lim. After calculating the number of hosts required, subnet mask, maximum host, network address, CIDR, also known as prefix, first usable address, last usable address, broadcast address, we will develop an addressing table to calculate the IP address of all devices in each of the department. Here is the addressing table for Chancellery from location A. This table has department, device interface, IP address, MAC address, subnet mask, and default gateway. In this table, you can see that we use VLAN 1 for all the switches, including multi-layer switch and switch PT as interface. And for the end devices like printers, PC, smartphone, we use network interface card and IC as interface. As for the switches, to calculate the switch IP address, we use the first usable IP address from the subnetting table, and +1. The MAC address is getting from the device itself, so every device has their own unique MAC address. The subnet mask and default gateway is getting from the subnetting table, which is the subnet mask, and the first usable address of each department. For information, we use one router as a network device and fast internet as interface. And the rest are the same concept. Next, we will have configuration, switch, and router. To assign the IP address into router, we have to key in enable first, then followed by config terminal, and then we key in the interface, fast internet 3/0, IP address and subnet mask. Don't forget your no shutdown. And it's done for the router. And then for the switch, it's also the same concept. Enable first, followed by config terminal, and then VLAN1, and then IP address and your subnet mask here. And then lastly, no shutdown. Next, we will have to set the host name, line console 0 password, enable password, and enable secret password. Next, we will have to set the host name, line console 0 password, enable password, and enable secret password. The steps are the same for both router and switch. First, you have to key in the enable, followed by config terminal, then host name, router 1. Then you can see the router become router 1 here. Then we want to set the password at line console 0. Assume that we are at the config terminal level, key in line console 0. And password CLA33. Don't forget your login, and done. And for the enable password, first you must exit to the config terminal level and then key in the enable password CLA33. And it's done for the enable password. And lastly, we have the enable secret password. First, you must add the config terminal level and then key in the enable secret password AACS2034. And it's done for the secret. And then the service password. As for the service password, encryption is to encrypt your password so that even though you enter the copy running config, it will show the correct password. And then the copy running startup config is to save all the process you have done in here. Okay, so now I'm going to display how to ping end devices. So I'm going to choose one PC first. Okay, now I'm going to find the IP address of this PC, PC9. So it's 4747. And then I just randomly choose one PC. We just have to wait a while for the result to come out. Yeah, successful. From location A to A. This one, just randomly choose one. 2424. Then I choose 24. This one, choose another. Successful. So that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and also, yeah, thank you for our tutor, Mr. Lim Kalok. Bye bye.